Okay. Give me your step touches side to side. I want you to think low impact and toning. So we're starting off with our rhythmic limbering. If your arms are cooperative and the shoulders allow that push, take them up. You can always just put your fingertips on your shoulders and lift through the elbows. Maybe your arms need to be down. We're going to do some of that too, okay? But I really like the overhead reach. Go into the toe tappers side to side. Push. So the thing about the shark bracelet, it's a bracelet or an anklet, wherever you want to wear it, right? If you buy 4, you get the 5th one free. So I thought, I'll have my 2 on my wrist, 2 on my ankles, and Rich can have the free one. And then I thought, because of our group, I thought if everybody bought their bracelets, right, we're generally all going to be in the water at the same time, step touch side to side, like power in numbers. Let's create such a negative wave that they just don't even want to come into our space. Big circles. So we'll see how that goes. I'm contemplating what color do I want. They actually have different colors. They're not all black. Ready? The arms are going to stay, right? I want you to, well, actually, we're going to double step touch and then we can add the arms back in. So take it 2 steps, 1 and 2, 2 steps. All right, so the arms initiate with the legs, whichever direction your first step is, sweep. Inhale up, exhale. This movement right here is really, it seems like it's just kind of a less than move, but if you have spring in your knees, then all you do is just change your tempo a little bit, right? Get those heels bobbing, and maybe you're like, yeah, I'm feeling strong. I had 2 cups of coffee. I didn't, I had my 1, right? So I've actually shifted my, I've got my spring going, right? Pop it up, push it down. As soon as you pop it up right there in the middle, you are no longer in low impact though, okay? When both feet leave the floor at the same time, it is considered high intensity. So as you continue to do the little double step touch, whatever version or intensity suits you, can you take the foot and give it a little tap back, right? And as you're tapping back, I'm going to scale it down. So even from low impact, right? Bend the leg, tap back. So your goal is to take your stance leg, bend it, pop up, push back, inhale, push back, inhale, do 2 more. Let that leg push. Inhale, last one, march it out, shake it out, a little shaky wrists, marching feet. Don't stay in one place. Use your real estate, right? Walk it off. You're just shaking. I want you to feel, remember that little story I told you about the little miniature greyhound? I was walking my mom's dog one day and this little miniature greyhound was being walked, and that little dog just had this prance going, like from the profile, it looked like the dog was on show. Release and relax. Since you're in your own environment, do silly little things that make you feel like youth and playful, right? 1 foot. You're in your clock. 12, 3, or 9, and 6. 12, right? So depending on what leg you're using, tap, tap, tap. It's the tap back that should feel like it's the most awkward, right? Now, I'm going beyond 6. I'm actually reaching for my 7, right? Push. Maybe you hear some like noises in your knee, right? It's not uncommon. I'm trying to think, I told you guys something a few weeks ago, and the word is escaping me. I told you that that noise is considered chondromalacia, which is just like slightly arthritic joint, right? Come back. Release, relax, marching feet. Get ready to walk around your real estate. But you're not just going to walk, because we get to walk all day long. I want you to shift your energy, prance, pull. When you prance, your whole body rises up towards the ceiling. Your abs are where they're supposed to be. Your body is tracking in this really powerful line. And relax. Go back to your space. Shifting gears into your clock. Now, what if your front leg doesn't want to bend, right? What if you got that little achy thing going on? What if it's that when you stand on single leg stance, you just got a burning sensation in your hip? Then just walk around your space, right? Do something that doesn't cause you pain. Don't stop. What if this didn't cause you pain, right? But standing on one leg causes you pain. Do some movement that allows you to be in motion without pain. Tap, tap, push, right? The arms become this, it offsets the leg so that you can actually get somewhere further because it's counterbalancing you, right? If you tuck your arms in, you'll just feel like your body's like, ah. But that's why boats, right? Have you ever seen like Hawaii Five-0 and part of the beginning part of the show, like the lead into it, you got the 5 people in the boat, right? And they're all paddling, but yet this long arm comes, I'm not talking about a human arm, it's part of the structure of the boat, is out there in the water to offset. So use your arms to offset your weight to help you balance. One more, push, get ready. Use your real estate. Now, don't let your heels hit the floor. And when you pull your leg up, I want you to imagine that your foot is dragging up the front of the other leg or the inside of it, right? You're not really going to touch it, but if you think about drawing this nice straight line with the toes pointed straight down, if I could stop and balance for a second, the foot kind of disappears because it's so in line with the other leg. Here we go. Work your buns. This is also knee rehab. So think about if you were to climb your stairs, you wouldn't do it all day long, but relax. Walk it out. If you had a stair in front of you, most people try to take the stair, right? And they're kind of heavy loaded. But next time you go up a couple of stairs, I want you to take the stair as if you're walking on your tiptoes. And when you get partially up your stair, right, you're going to push yourself all the way up so that the leg extends. And then the next leg takes it. And then the next leg takes it. Relax it. Grab your little ball. I sent out in an email a couple of weeks ago a little link to knee rehab. You see, if you have 2 balls, get them. Our rehabs, okay? Consider your rehab. If you do not actually have an injury, consider it prehab, right? You are intentionally trying to prepare your joints and keep your joints nice and strong so that you don't have injuries to them. But if you already have some pre-existing conditions, all right, so you hopefully are looking down, and if you don't have 2 balls, then you're just alternating drop catching with the 1 ball alternating hands. I've already taken my legs into a open stand, split squat position, right? I'm fairly deep, or I should say a plied squat, and I'm holding my hips in their squat position. The funny thing is, since my arms are really focused on catching the ball, I could stay in this squat for quite a while. Now, if you're in the squat, go ahead and see if you can take yourself a little bit lower. How upright can you keep your trunk? And now pull your belly button into your body, and then see if you can lower the hands a little bit, speed up the drop catch, lower the hips a little bit, pull your chest up and away from the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Good. Walk it off. Static hold. That was time under tension for those legs. And I didn't tell you that you could come up out of that squat, but I'm hoping that you all know, right? When something doesn't feel right, or when something feels like it's too much, pull up out of it. Look down at your body. Point the toe on the side lifting leg. The leg is nice and straight. Sometimes when we look down, right, because we're trying to clear the front of our body and see what our legs are doing, we now have our shoulders forward of our hip line. But once you can identify that your toe is pointed and actually coming straight down to the floor without the hip being opened, right, that's what you're identifying with, then you're going to right your body. And righting your body just consists of you pelvic tilting, shoulders gliding, belly to spine, tighten up your derriere. It should be already be happening. Here's the fun one. Hold the leg. If you can, without knocking yourself out of balance, look down your side body. And now I want you to bend and extend this leg. If you're all wiggles, then stop, go put yourself next to something that you can get a little hand support. So here's what we're trying to do. Imagine that you have a wall right in front of you so that this leg, when it's bending, cannot slide forward. The hamstring needs to work. And when you keep the leg tracking and slightly back, a lot more is happening than if you get to let the knee pull forward. Now walk it out, because you should feel like you got burning going on in the hips. Getting back to the foam rolling. So many of you actually have your own foam rollers, except they've not been broken in, right? Because they just sit there, maybe in a closet. Why not set it next to your TV? Zip and tuck. Give me your little lifts. You can look down, check your body line. Right? Put yourself next to something if you find that it's just too intense. Maybe you get to do 5 and then you need to march your feet, and then you come back and try to do 5 more. Maybe your muscle structure doesn't have the ability to hold positions without going into massive burning, right? Now, the leg is just off the floor. Hinge and point. If you would use your leg as if someone's pulling on your toe, making the leg nice and long as it comes down. And in order to keep it from hitting the floor, the legs have to stay so far apart, right? 5 more. We're on fire. This is all we're doing for this portion, right? And then we'll be done. There's 3. You're on your countdown. 2, squeeze the buns. Walk it out. And I want you to just, let's take a little evaluation. It's not like we're doing hundreds of repetitions. We literally just did maybe 15 reps. Our joints and muscle structure should be strong enough to hold positions for 15 to 30 seconds. We do not want to scale the reps back so low that we kind of are doing ourselves a disservice. So go grab a gadget, whether it's your jump rope, your hula hoop, your imaginary hula hoop, you're just going to march your feet. I don't know. Sandy, I'm not wearing cotton, so this has the potential to slide right off of me, but Sandy has graciously offered her adjustable hula hoop. Look at it, unsnaps. It's got like, it's what a genius idea. It's got that little snap in. So it comes in several pieces. And don't judge me because this is really light. It's going to look like I'm a beginner. But what I will tell you is it totally makes me feel like I'm a kid when you do something that you know you have the ability to do, but then you do it with a different gadget, and it brings you into your reality check that you still have a lot of work to do to get proficient at it. I feel like I'm in a safe place with you all, that I can be silly, right? It's not like relax. Even if we had our own TV show, right? I would still want to think that we can be silly because that's part of the playful thing. If you have a hula hoop, can you step through it? Right? If you don't have a hula hoop, then I still want you to try to do the leg portion. Step through, pick the other foot up, step through. Why do we limit ourselves to using things only precisely the way we think they're supposed to be used, right? Switch the leading foot. Here you go. So this is another version of our little jump rope. Proficient. Why are we doing this? Because we can. And secondarily, what is happening here? If you are using your hoop, then this is your accessory. You have to pick your foot up high enough, right? In order to get it, it's this coordinated hand and wrist and forearm, and where are your elbows? 3 more. Don't let that thing smack you in the shin too aggressively. Pull it around. We could jump rope with this. I've not practiced with this one. I feel like it's a little bit smaller than my other one, and relax. But I'm not going to take the extra piece. Well, I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit smaller, and then take that on the boat. So Sandy's letting me travel with that. It's going to be good fun. If you have your elastic bands, grab them. What haven't we done for a while? Our big halos. Do your arms need to be straight? No. Is it harder if they're straight? Yes. Can you make them straight? I don't know. The great thing about having this tension on your band is that so often, if you're experiencing like some impingement in the shoulder, if you give your muscles a workload, right? So if the band is slack, there's no work, there's work, but it's not the real work. If you have tightness in your shoulders, see if you can pull on your band, like get it really taut, and then try to do your movement through the sticking point. Just go really slow, move your body to help bring everything around, and then go into the bent arm, let out some of your strap, and see which version feels more doable. And now reverse rotation. Here we go. I'm going to stay straight arm for the whole thing. With your legs, see if you can swivel, right? Can we get our shoulders, hips, and the knees to be all doing, it's 180-degree rotation, right? That's what we're doing. I forgot which arm needs to come up. And I've just gone back to side 1, but that's okay. 4 more. Belly to spine. When you are feeling like you're challenged on your full rotation, this is your last one. Release the arms. Sometimes when we rotate the hip, the foot lifts and then the knee kind of collapses, but yet the heel doesn't come around. There's this element of loss of control right here that you have to train yourself into your balanced position with your body rotated. And if you find that you're not completing your rotation, It's your body's protective mechanism into stopping you while you still feel like you're in control. But because you're in an environment where you're not going to hurt yourself, even if you fell out of step, spend the time getting your follow through. That's the whole purpose of why we're doing some of these things, is to not let you take the easy street, right? So I'm going to anchor the band. Think warrior. So I'm going to get a little bit further over here. Shoulder press and warrior, right? Start working the foot out. Maybe you don't like warrior. And so when you're like, oh crap, I don't like that stretch, then let's reframe it for you. This is such a fabulous movement, right? So bend the front leg, pull it back. I only use the word warrior because it helps you know that your legs need to be nice and far apart, right? So the band is tracking along the back side of my arm. If you don't have a band, but you've got, your water bottle, your soup can, your 3-pound dumbbell, then push it up. And my end range is not this vertical line with my arm. It's this nice diagonal line, right? Inhale, take the big stretch. I'm using my down arm to press against the inside of that leg. And now on this position, hold, right? Maybe you are getting fatigued and you need your down arm to be a brace. Squeeze your buns. If you don't need the brace, then push that knee back. Give me 5 more with the shoulder press. 4. If you didn't want to do the arm, then just hang out here, right? 3, inhale. 2, last one, complete it. Bring it down, release. Heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe. Switch. I love the stretches where we can kind of let the mind relax into a movement and create a secondary position so that you're getting the best of both worlds, right? Since we know we're really tight through the hip complex, every time we come into the down, if you're able to keep your legs tracking the way they should be and the proper muscles engaged, you'll feel a nice gentle stretch. And then you're slightly distracted by the fact that you've got this accessory here that you're trying to do something with. Let the weight or your band, right, come so like you're trying to put your bicep really close to your ear and back out of it. Inhale, give a good push on that front knee, open yourself up. Release, holding the bent leg position and pump the arm. 5, maybe when you pump the arm, you like slide into it a little bit deeper. 3, squeeze the trailing bun. Exhale on the push. 2, 1 more. Now, open it up, heel to toe. Set your band off. We're going to get the body moving again. Do you want jump rope, hula hoop, walking around your space? Maybe none of it sounds like they're anything you want to embrace. Then what if you grabbed your heavy weights and you just walked around your space doing your farmer's walk, right? If you're using a heavy enough weight, then just walking and carrying weight is a really good exercise. Right? Oh, there we go. I don't look as spastic now, right? I can go crazy with it, but I maybe spoke too soon. So anytime I feel like the band, the hula is going lower than where I feel like I can control it, then my inclination is to increase tempo, right? That still doesn't mean it's going to save it, but now we're back to the crazy. So when Sandy brought this over the other day. I took it from her, and then I immediately put it on, and I got a few seconds of it, and it dropped right down, and I'm like, haha, this is what's going to happen. Switch, go the other direction. I hope I'm not the only one with a hula hoop. I mean, I know Sandy, Peggy, Jen, I know you all have your hoops. And I think, I'm not certain if Linda got one, but oh, I wish you guys would talk and take some of the effort out of what I'm doing. If I could really focus on it, there we go. I'd be able to control it better. But the more stress we bring into something that we're trying to learn, that's generally when we're less skilled at it. Like the learning, my body's trying to learn it, and my mind says, but you know how to do this. So my shoulders are pulling up to my ears. That's not a good thing. All right, here we go. So we found the rhythm. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So I feel like I should be teaching a hula hoop class for the beginner, because my movement represents what a beginner movement would look like. And when you see the girls doing the hulas, like who literally they're not even moving, and the hulas, they're able to do tricks with it. That's very inspiring, but it takes a long time to get to that place. So Sandy, I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of that. I'll give it back, I promise. Grab your light weights. One of my favorite exercises. How do things make their way into my favorite category? It all comes down to being able to do something with very light weight that makes you feel like you can really get tuned in to a muscle. So I want you to think about this muscle from the back of essentially the backside of your shoulder, right? Because that's your shoulder, into the upper back. Now, that muscle is really quite an attractive muscle. It has the ability, right, to give you some really good shape. Beyond that, think about the responsibility of that muscle, right? So when we talk about our posture, it all stems from you being able to slide your shoulder blade, and the muscle that's required to stabilize the shoulder blade in place is this. So if you find that you just can't maintain your posture where it's supposed to be, then this is something that needs more attention. And from a frontal view, I'm not going to look at the screen, right? The arm is really coming out to a T, right? One side T. It's soft at the elbow. What have I done with my other way? I've just put it between my legs, right? Squeeze, pull the arm. This is why you want lightweight. How gently are you holding your weight? Sometimes when I watch people, the weight is not making any contact with the palm. Squeeze that weight, give it control. Every finger has a job, and it translates up into your muscle activation. Stand up. If you barely hold your weight, right? Not that the weight's going to fall out of your hand. We're not so worried about that. It's more like, if these are the 10 to 15 repetitions a week that we're getting for this muscle, be committed to it, right? Hold on to it like it's got a death grip on it. All right, back into your crouch. Take your other weight, put it between your legs if you can. Tabletop spine. If you're looking forward at your screen with your head up, turn yourself or just relax the head and know not to look at the screen. Okay, so don't let the heel of the hand lose contact with your weight. Fully grip that thing. If you want to put your free arm behind your back, because that helps you feel like both shoulder blades are now able to draw into one another. Belly to spine, inhale down. This would be where a mirror would come in handy. And you turn your body to the mirror and you'd watch that muscle just like pop up, right? As soon as you start raising the arm, the muscle reveals itself. It's magic. Pull, inhale down. Exhale up. Don't let the heel of your hand lose contact with your dumbbell. Squeeze that thing hard. Give me one more. Maybe you're like, yeah, I just can't get my arm to do that. It's just too hard. My shoulder, right? My shoulder, my shoulder. Then walk away. Give me your last one. Pull, belly to spine. Release, pull yourself up. You set your weights off. Maybe grab a little drink. It's time to get our feet moving. I'm just going to go into jog mode. I'm so tempted to do the hula again, but I don't want to bore you since I don't really have any tricks to show you. I was learning a couple of tricks, and you know what happens is when you don't do your tricks, like now probably not the time to try to remind myself what my trick is. When you try to teach yourself something and then you actually feel like you do it right a couple of times, you're like so excited and encouraged by this new little thing that you learned. And then you set it down, you walk away, months go by, you come back, you're like, what was that trick? Like, how many times I'm a horrible joke teller. I laugh at jokes. You can tell me a joke again and again and again because I'm this person that, one, I'm a horrible joke teller. And two, there's so many things that I forget that even though I've heard somebody's joke again and again, often I won't realize that I've heard it until you get to the punchline. I'm like, so it's always funny to me. Little tap outs. If you don't want the bounce, bring your feet to more like just comfortable ride. But if you feel like you got lots to give and your body is nice and springy, right? Here we go. 10, 9, 8. Maybe you want to pop your knees up, right? 7. Maybe you're down here pulling your knees up, doing high knees, right? 6, 5, 4, 3, jack, right? Pull it in, push it out, pull. I'm going to have you keep going and I'm going to show you the modified. Step out of the box, step in the box. This is the modified movement to a jumping jack, right? 5, push it. 4. You can bend the legs into your plie as deep as you want to go, right? So 4 more. 4, push it. 3, right? 2, last one. Jog it out, jog. Remember your prance? When you go into your prance, you should feel like, I have this whole new level of energy. So you can get yourself fatigued in a particular range of motion, shift gears and do something else, and you find that your body generates a whole new enthusiasm towards what you're doing. Cut. Grab your chair. All right. And Jen, I don't know if you know this, because this only just got revealed to me yesterday. We're going to be doing our tricep kickback, right? So lightweight, I'm just going to stay with light weights. I know I could use my 7.5s, but since I want to get about 12 to 15 reps, I'm going to stick with my 1.5. Why not let the chair do the supporting, right? So just get your body comfortable and then I'll finish the story. I want you to feel you're going to push yourself far enough forward so that it's not an effort for you to hold your legs up. Like the muscles are working, but you're pretty comfortable just being suspended here. And you can have with a hand, the fingertips of one hand, lightly pushing into the floor to help your upper back stabilize itself as well. And then your free arm, get your tricep around your lat mass. Notice I didn't say back fat, right? It needs to come around your lat mass. So don't think of that extra stuff in your back as back fat. Think of it as lat. It's called latissimus dorsi, lat mass, right? So shoulders are out of the ears. Your free hand is gently pushing you up so that your body's stable. And what felt easy initially, having your legs up, should now feel like those muscles are working. Every time you go and extend your arm, I want your body to feel like it gets longer. Okay. So when the arm bends, the spine might change its position a little bit, but as soon as you start straightening the arm, don't feel like you've stopped or you've completed that repetition until you lengthen your parts again. Inhale, exhale. So Rich is talking to the boat broker yesterday that sold him this boat, because now we're actually going to get it from the shop today, release and relax. And in the process of Rich having this new boat, we've been on it, I guess, I don't know what, a month to 5 weeks, right? So, you don't know enough about something when you first acquire it, but after you've used it for a little bit, you realize, oh, I wish it had this, right? And you start creating this whole another checklist for something that's brand new to you, but yet you want more. The story continues. So he's talking to the boat broker because we're going to see him today. And Rich just casually mentions, he's like, he said, if you come across a boat that's got X, Y, and Z, he said, keep me in the loop. What do you think the boat broker said? Well, it just so happens that I do know of a boat that has X, Y, and Z. So Rich looks at me, he gets off the phone and he says, I know we're going to pick up the new boat tomorrow, but he said a couple of miles away is this other boat that has X, Y, and Z on it. And I looked at him and I'm like, what exactly does that mean? And he said, well, the first thing is we're going to go look at it. So I don't know. I mean, based on how Rich was talking about it, like he was already imagining himself in this other new boat. I got the biggest kick. I shook my head and I was like, well, I said, I'll clear my schedule. We're going to go look at another boat. Anyway, squeeze your buns. Push, push, push. Actually, that probably wouldn't have come to pass. You should have, I hope, felt that. One of his friends that was supposed to go and do this with him today couldn't make it, so that's how I have factored into the equation. And yeah, I like to give Rich plenty of time away. But today we're going to spend the whole day together. Roll it back. Fingers. I'm using my chair. You might have a bench. This is not something you can use your ball for, right? I want you to try. Press your hands into, why are we doing this? Since you just pumped your triceps. If you get your arms around your lat mass and press the heels of your hands down into your chair, you should be able to slide your bottom off of the chair. So your arms are supporting you. If your shoulders, sit yourself back, okay? If you try to push yourself up and you haven't expanded your front body and retracted the back body, then that might be the part where your shoulders protest. You don't have to push your hips. Since I'm facing you, you probably can't really get the good angle, but we don't want the hips way away from the chair. You want to draw your backside right up against the edge of the chair. You're just holding yourself. It's part of your wrist strengthening. Your neck should be long. You should be able to be mobile without feeling like you're in a stress. What do we know about our foundation? When the building blocks of our strength are aligned, things that seem like they should be hard become resting positions. Push back, getting on and off is going to be the part of it that actually doesn't look right. And now I'm going to do the profile shot so you can see what I'm talking about with spine. Okay. If you're not used to manipulating your arm around your back mass, lat mass, then sometimes you put your hands down, you straighten your arms, and you see how my spine, my shoulder blades haven't been pulled back together, though my arms are straight. So I want us all to take this exercise, right? Exaggerate your expanded elbows, and then like you're pulling them around, right? And now you're squeezed back. Now put your hands there. The chin is elevated slightly. Push the hands into the chair. You should feel like your triceps get engaged. And then there you are. Your buns are off. From there, you should be able to march your feet. From there, maybe you can't do anything except support yourself. But if you want to experiment, how close can you keep your backside to your chair and bend your arms? Push back up. This is considered a dip. It's triceps, chest, and shoulders. And you'll know immediately if it's something that you're maintaining your good form for, because as soon as you bend your arms, if your spine rounds into C and your back pulls away from your chair, then you have not maintained your retracted shoulders. Now, 5, 4, 3, 2, push up, wiggle back, give them a break. Get yourself back over your chair. We're done with our triceps. You're done. Okay. You might have a traditional weight to, 1, 2, or 3 pounder. The soup can will not allow me to actually grip it. Okay. So I'm going to use a ball. Get yourself on your chair. How do you put your ball between the back of your knee and then squeeze it? Right. Some of you are used to doing ball work with me at the cable pulley, where I have you standing, trying to stand on one leg, squeeze the ball, do your tricep kickback at the same time. But I want you to feel like your hips are at the hip hinge part of your support base, right? Your chest is going to be slightly lifted off the chair. And then with the leg that's got the ball, squeeze your dumbbell or your ball. My foot is in full pointed toe. And because the leg is so bent, like I can't get it any higher. I'm trying to lift my leg as high as I can. And for some of you who don't even realize that when we do this movement, that without the weight or the ball, if you drop your weight or your ball, it's because your leg angle opens up. And that's what so many people do, is they don't maintain this super bent leg. So if you drop your ball, just don't get off the chair. Just keep going, but I want you to try to pull your heel towards your bum. Okay. Inhale down. Exhale, push, shoulders out of the ears, big squeeze on the up. Inhale down, push, push, push. Now it's up and we're pulsing. 5, 4, 3, 2, release the leg. It should felt like it should have felt like it did a little something, even though what we were doing range of motion wise was shallow. You can spin yourself around or just set yourself up on the other leg. Okay. Before you start lifting, tell your mind, right? Okay, mind, pull the foot back towards the bum as tight as you can keep it. Drive it up. Oh, right. The reason why I'm trying to have you relax this other leg is because in the lifting leg side, you might end up pushing down on this other leg as a means of trying to get the leg to go higher. Just don't worry about that, right? Let the other leg be a non helper. Right? Inhale, exhale, squeeze the bum, pull the foot back nice and tight. Inhale down. Chest is slightly lifted, shoulders are out of the ears, squeeze the bum. It's a lot to think about. Lift, 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 lift. What restricts us? Why is it that the knee can't even get to vertical line? Remember those tight hip flexors? Yes. The muscle that runs along the front of your thigh up to the hip, that tight muscle is what's keeping the lifting leg knee from going to even parallel. If you are getting it parallel, that's fantastic, right? Do two more. Up it goes, up it goes, up it goes, up. Last one. Oh, I almost dropped the ball. And release. Maybe you were pointing your toes so intense that your foot cramped up. You're done with your ball, you're done with your chair, bring your mat down. Might as well get a sip of water while you're up. How good are you guys doing at getting your bodies and keeping your bodies hydrated? I would rate myself probably an 8.5 out of a 10 scale. I think I'm at least uh, make the quota at least 85% of the time. And it's really helpful to be able to know that by 9 o'clock, right? I've already had almost 20 ounces. I don't consider the water in my coffee. That doesn't count as that equation. But I do consider, right? So when I have my tea, that little concoction that I make, the cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and cloves, that's got almost 16 ounces of water in it. You might want your little strap handy just for the sake of having it. All right, come on down. I'm going to be relentless in my knee rehab. And boy, can I tell you, getting on the foam roller yesterday was just, it made me again identify with why so many people don't do the foam rolling. And here's what I know about foam rolling. Just do a little side to side roll. We're going to get into our oblique work, but I just want you to initiate your little back stretch here to make sure everything feels okay. In the event that this feels really good and you just don't want to put any more workload in your body, then just keep doing this. But if you're like, yeah, I'm still ready to work, then no hand support. Take your legs further through their rotation, and just before they hit the floor, put the brakes on, pull back up, right? When you're evaluating and critiquing your form, here's what you're going to do. You're going to keep a watchful eye on your feet. You're going to make sure that when your legs go to the side, that the angle from where your knee to your chest is does not open up. Stay tight with those knees directly over the hips. And maybe it's like, oh, I can't keep my arms straight. Slide the hands, turn the palms down and let the hands come down, cast a little bit, and that might protect your shoulders, right? But if you're just aimlessly looking at the ceiling, there's more for you to see. And it has to do with what your body's doing. So dial in on your feet and your knees. If this isn't enough, put the knees together and extend the high leg. Keep the knees together, because right here, you can bend the leg, takes the pressure off the back, pull yourself up, take the other leg, extend it. Your knees are still together. Roll it over, roll it over, roll it over, roll. Bend it. Up you go. You got one more to each side. Your degree of rotation is entirely up to you, whether or not you're adding the extended leg or not, right? That's your choice. This next one's going to be your last one. Squeeze your belly to your spine. It's kind of hard to pinch your derriere, right? Bend the leg, pull it up. And now you probably were a little inchworm. Side roll, side sit, or roll yourself up. A little QL work, right? Nothing new. Pick up the legs, back yourself up. Back it up. Here we go. Pull it back. Okay. So getting back to the foam roller. If when you go to roll your thighs, right, on the foam, if you have a hard density foam roller and it's excruciating, then you actually need to get another foam roller that is softer, or just get another foam roller and you then use two rollers to help displace the amount of pressure that you have on the roller. So don't throw the roller out thinking my body is so sensitive, I can't use the roller. Your body actually needs the roller even more, and that would be just spend the 20 bucks, get another roller so that you can roll yourself without excruciating pain, and it's a game changer. Relax, face forward. Maybe you were facing forward, okay? A little stretch, well, a little work and then stretch. Think about this long muscle from the inside of the knee up into the groin. One leg is going to bend because you're probably going to want to hold on to that leg. If it's not super comfortable for you to hold the leg, or you get fatigued, right, then you can use your strap as a means of just helping you maintain upright. It's not always comfortable or long term lasting if you're holding your leg. What are we doing? Just your little leg. It's a massive attack, actually, at a very weak part. Why are the hip flexors weak? They're weak because they're so tight. Okay. Open the leg. Use your hands. Brace yourself back. Turn the leg out. Flex the foot. Once you flex the foot, it should activate the quad. So look at your leg. See if you can fully extend the leg and make this muscle fire up. You'll know when it's fired up because it'll look like something, right? Fire it up. Now, get it fired up and lift. Maybe your arms aren't comfortable behind you. Go back to holding your leg, right? Lift. I prefer this. If you want a little ab work, no hands, but try to keep your leg straight. Swing the leg to the front. The toe is still flared to the side. Pull. And now the muscle work should be really intense and relax. How about a little stretch on that leg before we do the other? Strap in hand. Where are we going with this? Sideline quadricep stretch. Before you ever even get to your full stretch, it should be like, oh, wow, that thigh really did something. Okay. Zip and tuck. So your little inner thigh work on your next leg is the last thing. right? So embrace your stretch while we're here. Pulling navel in, you can float your knee forward and back just to let it go. Ah, sweet relief. And then, yeah, man, that's intense. Push it back. Zip and tuck. Now, swivel. Well, don't swivel yet. Just sit up. Ready? Leg number 2. All right. You might not even be able to lift your leg off the floor. What if that's your start point, is just letting that leg draw this little like 90 degrees, right? We can't even get it to 90, right? Okay, but if you can lift it, get it off the floor, turn the toe to the side, support yourself. Maybe your support feels better with your hands behind your back because you can actually do S-curve sit, but I'm happy if you just hold on to that leg. How straight can you keep this other leg? 5, 4, 3, 2, open the leg. Give it a little shaky shake. Maybe that muscle just immediately went into cramp mode. I feel more with these types of movements than I do if I sit on the leg extension machine and do loaded leg extensions. Ready? Flex the foot. Muster up, like command, muster abs, right? Tense up that leg, look at the muscle, see it fire up, release, fire it up, release. On your next fired up position, how do you get it to fire up? By trying to straighten the leg, okay? So now it's fired up, lift. Your body tells you a lot. Sometimes we think we're so strong, right? Until we try to lift our leg a couple inches off the floor and center lift right here. 5, 4, 3. It's wicked. 2 and release. Shake it out. If you're like, I don't understand what the big deal is, I didn't feel that at all. Chances are your leg was not straight. Your leg was bent, right? If you straighten your leg, that's when your quadricep is getting its load. Isn't that interesting? Bent leg, right? With the leg bending and coming behind us, that's hamstring and glute. With the leg straightened and out in front of us, that's quadricep. Wow, super. So how nice is it in a very weird way to know that 10 to 20 reps of something gets your muscle so fired up. You could even have done that laying down, right? Laying flat in your bed with one leg bent. That is a knee rehab movement. From every person that I know that has gone through any type of knee surgery, knee replacement parts, right? One of the first exercises they give people is to straighten their leg. And then once you're able to get it straight, then lift the leg. It works the entire muscle without straining the knee. And release. Okay. I don't want you to get too comfortable because now we need to get up. We're going to finish with 2 or 3 deep breaths. And when we do our deep breaths, we're going to go to full extension. So get yourself up however you see fit. Okay. Taking the arms up, lift and breathe. With the arms up, belly is in, buns are tight. So go for your full extension. Allow your chin to lift. You might go ahead and exhale here, right? Inhale again. Really pull your belly to spine, buns tight, bow the body back a little bit. Really strong, powerful legs. Start releasing the arms, let the weight of the head relax. You're going to, I call it like the swan dive, right? Down you go, forward fold, let gravity do its job. Say hello to your hamstrings and calves and your low back. The head just relaxes like the crown of your head is hanging towards the top of the floor. Soften your knees, getting your chest down towards your thighs, and ragdoll roll up. And as you're coming up, it's with the thought that as soon as you're able to squeeze your buns and put your body back into that nice tight spot, you're going to inhale again Bow back, slowly exhaling, squeezing your parts. The weight of your head is included in your stretch, and then you're righting your body and we're ragdoll rolling down. Keep your eyes open because this can tend to make you a little bit dizzy. You're taking your time, feel the stretch. That should feel really nice along the entire backside of your body. The weight of the head is hanging. Stay here, don't look up. You're not holding your breath. Whether your hands touch the floor or not, I just want you to take your upper body and just like draw this little arc around that space from the outside of one ankle, drawing the arc towards the other side, right? Eyes are open, don't close your eyes. And now, when you get to the center, bend your legs, round your spine, chin to chest. Slowly, you're pulling yourself up. And when you get up, hopefully, what you feel is this like tingling and circulatory flush, but you should also feel like you're like silly putty. Like your body is very malleable right now. So you're nice and fluid and loose. I want to wish you a happy, happy day and stay tuned. I'll see you tomorrow, I hope.